Significance of stress hormone for wildlife in a changing Arctic. Start whenever you're ready.
Why is it that some animals become aggressively territorial during mating season? How do birds regulate the timing of their migratory patterns? And why is it that after you gorge yourself on Thanksgiving dinner, you no longer have that feeling of hungry? The answer is hormones. Hormones are the chemical messengers of our bodies that determine many downstream outcomes on an individual's physiology and behavior. Furthermore, hormones help us serve as a metric for us to view into the window of an individual's physiological or biological state. But why not take it a step further? If hormones tell us more about physiology, and physiology tells us more about how an individual will interact with their environment, can we use hormones to help us predict how populations will respond to future environmental and land use changes? This is the question that I'm trying to answer with my research here at NAU. Specifically, I'm interested in how animals in the Arctic will respond to the predicted increase in catastrophic weather events in Arctic regions due to climate change, looking at this idea through the lens of an animal's hormones. To model this idea, I studied the Arctic ground squirrel pictured over here, which is the northernmost hibernating animal on our planet. I'm interested in how stress hormones are involved in helping Arctic ground squirrels cope with environmental stressors, unpredictable environmental stressors. Now, stress hormone is a hormone that is found in all vertebrate species, including you and I, and is hypothesized to be involved in helping an animal cope with unpredictable environmental challenges by allowing them to allocate resources from less important things like reproduction to survival. For example, if you were to walk outside and find the city of Flagstaff consumed by a massive forest fire, I guarantee that you're going to be thinking less about this afternoon's brunch date, that's reproduction, and thinking more about jumping ship and leaving town, that's survival right there. Similarly, in Arctic ground squirrels, what I found was that as they encounter unpredictable environmental stressors related to weather, they have an increase in stress hormone. They start secreting higher and higher amounts of stress hormone. And with that increase in stress hormone, what we saw was an interesting correlation with a behavioral change. Specifically, as stress hormone increased, Arctic ground squirrels became less active above ground and spent more time below ground regardless of their reproductive state. Now what they're doing is essentially going below ground, hiding in their burrows, and escaping the storm. Now with this research, what I've shown for the first time is how stress hormone can act as a trigger within an animal to help them cope with unpredictable environmental challenges. And more importantly, I hope that with this research we can show how we can potentially use stress hormone as a metric and indicator within a population to tell us when that population is reaching the limits of its physiology in the context of a changing climate. Thank you.